Hello, everybody. This is Julian Hall. This is my very first ever live stream video for doing the weather. Now, weather in Texas is pretty wonky, so just bear with me. This is my first time doing this. So let's get started, shall we? Let's first start off with what is really going on right now and what's about to go on later. So for the updates, there are some storms. Low, Tony. There are some storms all across northeast Texas mainly, parts of north central and northeast Texas. There's even one severe thunderstorm warning for quarter-size hail, as you can see right there. There's also a special weather statement for other storms for half-inch hail, and then this one is dime-size hail. So yeah, lots of storms to cover. Hang on just a second, I'm gonna move this. Sorry. Yeah, lots of storms over here. Oops. Did not want to do that. I was trying to scroll down. So this is not a very good weather setup. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to put you down somewhere. Dang it, I wish I brought my water bottle in here. Okay, let me see if let me wing this for a second. Oh, shoot. You better turn it back to me. You guys can't really see me that well, but I'm going to try to do this. I'm going to try to do this as best I can. I know this is not quality, but don't get mad at me. So, I usually do weather things like this. I'd like to show you some stuff when I get there. So I did show you those severe warning storms. Most these storms are not moving south, if that's what you're asking. They're moving to the northeast at about 45 miles per hour. Actually, every single storm is really moving to the northeast at 45 miles per hour. So, a lot of these storms are going to be starting off in the Waco area, which they are doing now, and will be coming across northeast Texas into Arkansas and northern Louisiana later today. So this is only the start. They're not supposed. The fact that we got one severe thunderstorm warning this is the few that we're actually going to get today. It's not going to be a huge outbreak, and the only main thing is hail today. Hail is the only main threat really today. There could be a slight possibility of damaging wind, but kind of doubt it at this point, as many of these storms are just producing hail. Now, what about the wintry side of things? If hail wasn't wintry enough, which, quite frankly, it's the only real wintry thing that actually happens in the summertime, what about real winter stuff? That would be coming later. In fact, North Texas is now getting under the gun for this. Many winter weather advisories are in the DFW area, and places just north of DFW are starting to get that freezing precip now. It's changing over from rain to mainly freezing rain at this time. So, yeah, freezing rain is the main threat right now at this point for places like Gainesville and Sherman and Denton and all those places. In North Texas. It will eventually it will make its way on down towards the Dallas and Fort Worth. They'll be starting to get a little bit of this later tonight, but what about us? What about in Austin, where I live? The people of Austin have many pasts on this thing for this winter weather this season. This season's been pretty crazy. So what is expected? Well, the temperature keeps going down. Every single prediction they keep doing, it keeps going down. And what I mean by that is the predicted temperature for at night is going down every single like hour. I'll look what it is now. I think the last time I saw it, it was 34 tonight. It's like 34 around in this spot, not in downtown where it's warmer. This spot, in the Oak Hill area where I live, that's where yeah, 34 tonight. So it's an interesting area. 34. And it's going to be a lot heavier than it is now. So if you're seeing what's outside right now, it's going to be much heavier. Um, it's going to be definitely much heavier tonight. So what does this mean? Well, at this point, it means there is that possibility of it changing over from rain to freezing rain to possibly snow tonight. Ice pellets. I can't be for certain at this point. I've seen it before when we get heavy rain and then the atmosphere cools when that heavy rain comes down and it changes over to snow. That's what happened in December. If you're in Austin, you remember that very clearly in December. Now, let's see. Now, if you want to know what I think it is very possible for the changeover from rain to mixed precip. It has to be the correct conditions for this thing. It's got to be 32, at least 32, or I'm sorry, at most 32, and it's probably going to have to be raining a lot. If it cools the atmosphere while it's raining, it will chug it down. The temperature will keep chugging down real fast, and it will probably make the changeover fairly quickly. So timing, it's going to be in the morning. I doubt it will be during the day, during the evening hours tonight, or overnight. I mean, like afternoon and evening hours. I doubt it will be then. It'll definitely be overnight into tomorrow morning, mainly is when that would happen. That is exactly when the ice, if we got any frozen precip, that is the timeline. Late overnight and early tomorrow morning. It's not a very big one, but is there a possibility of that? Yes. Yes, Austin is definitely it is storming today, but not as intense as the storms in Northeast Texas from like Waco to Tyler to Longview to Texarkana and things like that. There's a marginal risk. If you go into the National Weather Service office and go to forecast, click down on severe weather, it actually tells you where the marginal risk is for severe storms, and there's many different types, and there's different levels of risk. Marginal is the smallest, basically. It's basically a very small chance of severe hail. Now, the marginal risk has moved. It is accompanying it's actually in East Texas now, so only cities like Lufkin and Longview and places in Tyler in it. Waco is no longer in it, and almost all of Louisiana it is in it. Almost all of South and Central Mississippi is in it, and a good portion of South Arkansas is in the marginal. So if you're in that marginal, like New Orleans, Baton Rouge, Shreveport, Jackson, all these places, they're all in the risk area for marginal risk. It's not a very high one, and it's only going to be mainly for hail. Now, we did have a tornado warning today in very southeast of Louisiana. Earlier this afternoon, There was a tornado-warned storm. I can't remember exactly what city. It's even farther south of New Orleans. It's it's like at the very edge of the Mississippi when the Mississippi starts in Louisiana. It was near Burroughs. I think it was no, Boothville and Vents. Boothville and Vents. That that area right down there, almost to the end of the Mississippi in Louisiana, or start where whatever you want to call that. There was a tornado warning storm for right in there. It's not very populated right over there. There's not a huge population in that area at all. But it's still, in fact, it might actually be more dangerous because a lot of these places are not well constructed homes. So if a tornado does come across there, they're not very well so a lot of these places are like mobile homes and stuff around there. So they're not very well constructed. So that could have been bad for Boothville Vents area. It's not very populated, but the housing is not meant to really withstand something like a EF2 tornado or whatever. Now, I'm not saying it was an EF2 tornado. I'm just saying any tornado was bad. I'm just saying even if it was a weak tornado, it would be very, very hard to withstand. But anyway, that's about it. That's about it for this video. I know many of you people like my train lives, like my train videos, and I thank you all for that. So, if you guys have any questions about anything, please let me know. You can comment on this video or leave it in the discussion section. Thank you for everybody who was watching. I'm gonna see if I can get this off.